Hey everybody, welcome back for a brand new video about that show that's coming back to haunt your Sunday nights for the second to last time, The Walking Dead. Warning, beyond this point, there are spoilers for people who are not up to date in the Walking Dead television series as well as the Image comic book series. In this video, we're going to give you our binge breakdown of the brand new trailer just released for Season 11B titled Resist. This promo video shows us a darker, more sinister side of the Commonwealth. We're also going to go over the episode titles and descriptions that we do know to try to predict what's coming towards the end of Season 11B and beyond. First, let's take a look at this trailer.
Binge. Rampage.
The opening shot is of the Commonwealth convoy that's headed to Alexandria. The armored vehicle flanked by soldiers looks pretty official, but no other info here. Is this where Eugene is riding? Or is he still sitting in a Commonwealth cell, and could Yumiko be the emissary set to go back to the communities? It does seem to make more sense than Eugene, especially since Miko doesn't want to lose her newfound brother Tommy again. After that, we see a new shot of a scenario we're already aware of. Jerry was the first to see the approaching soldiers, and Carol shows up to see what's going on. During this sequence of shots, we hear dialogue from Lance Hornsby, who is complimenting the survivors while introducing his much larger community.
I am impressed with everything you've built here. However, I do have another, more interesting choice.
A little heavy-handed, don't you think? Following that shot is one that tells us the Commonwealth did make it inside the gates without any bloodshed before cutting to a shot of the governor of the Commonwealth getting out of her armored ride to meet the common folk. It seems Lance is doing most of the talking now. The next set of shots cuts to the Commonwealth in what we're assuming is episode 2 or 3 after some time has passed since the 11B premiere. The Commonwealth citizens are welcoming their royalty in some kind of event that we've seen depicted in the first full season 11B trailer. This shot shows the governor, and it seems she has an ego to match her title, but only time will tell. After that, the trailer cuts to a shot of Maggie looking like she needs 3 hot showers at the least. She's asking someone why they are choosing the Commonwealth, and we wonder if Maggie is possibly the one that ends up at odds with the longtime friend after the time jump, a detail we learned from one of the non-specific spoilers we covered in our last video. Following that moment, we see a repeat shot of some of the survivors in a group being talked to by Commonwealth boss soldier Mercer. We believe all these people are recruits to the Commonwealth soldiers, which we'll get into more later. The next shot, someone answers Maggie's question. The way this is edited makes it seem like Daryl and Maggie are at odds here.
Why do you trust these people?
Doing it for us.
What do you think? Will old tensions and past mistakes rise to the surface between these two Walking Dead OGs? As Daryl's dialogue plays, we get a shot of Daryl in uniform, and it just doesn't feel right. Mr. Dixon is not really a uniform guy or team player, just ask the Claimers. After that, we get a shot of the King undertaking some kind of medical procedure. This leads us to believe the Commonwealth is actively trying to fight Ezekiel's cancer. What do you think? Will the King without a kingdom make it until the end of the series? What if he overthrows the governor? R.I.P. Shiva. The trailer then cuts to a shot of Carol looking super upset. The way this is edited suggests that she is reacting to Zeke's sickness, but it really could be anything here. Including Carol faking heartbreak right before she kills someone, it's impossible to know for sure. Next up, we see a repeat shot of Eugene being stood up with some ice cream cones before getting a shot of Rosita and her man being reunited with baby Coco in the middle. Can this happy family make it to the end of the series? What do you think? Will Gabe find a way to survive? During these shots, we hear Eugene asking someone if they regret coming to the Commonwealth. Rosita's response is, "What do you think?" As we look at a few more shots of Eugene looking pretty bummed out, we wonder if Eugene's still excited about the super community he found. Will he ever get to be with the real Stephanie?
Told you to just sing it.
You got nice chops.
Following that sequence, we get a very interesting shot of someone being led off stage right near Governor Milton. He seems to be protesting the governor and hinting at an entire rebel faction of people unhappy with the community's leaders.
There are thousands more like me.
It's also worth noting that Daryl is on stage with the soldiers and the politician, and we wonder if Daryl is doing some type of Secret Service role here. We know the next few episodes won't go too well for Daryl, but he seems to be gaining some kind of trust. After that shot, the trailer cuts to some shots we've already seen before of Commonwealth stormtroopers busting down a door. The context now, based off of this trailer, is that these troops are looking for more people involved in this alleged rebellion. What do you think? Is this guy a conspiracy theorist, or is a war brewing between the common folk and the elite? Which side will our survivors fall on? This next shot seems to be a flag splattered with blood for a symbolic effect, or these rebels could be murdering stormtroopers. It's tough to say. While we see this shot, we hear what the message is supposed to be.
Resist the Commonwealth!
Why can't our survivors just have a nice easy time in a safe community? There always has to be a war. Next up, we see some repeat shots of Herschel and Maggie, then Negan, and an unknown new friend before the action cuts outside to Mercer getting up close and personal and bloody. After that, the action cuts to a shot of the princess looking concerned, and we wonder how important of a part she will play in the endgame of the series. Following that moment, we see Daryl in a shot that matched this scene from a previous trailer. It's still unclear why Daryl turns fugitive, but we all know is that nothing better happened to Dog. The trailer then cuts to Leah, who looks like she might be ready to die, but it's anyone's guess as to how that all goes down. The action intensifies as we see a few shots of Lydia, Elijah, and Diane kicking some Walker ass in the woods before cutting to a repeat shot of Maggie looking around with an assault rifle. The last shot of the trailer starts as a repeat before we finally get to see who killed this gnarly Walker. Does Lance have to do a lot of shooting? Will he end up being this crazed maniac in Season 11B? As the title card splashes in, we're reminded that the series will premiere in just a few short weeks and that it will be available to AMC Plus subscribers in less than 1 week. It's not even 1 week away, people. Now let's go over the episode titles and descriptions that we know right now and speculate on how 11B is going to go down for our favorite and most hated characters.
People can find out themselves how Negan gets.
Or what happens when Carol?
Or when Maggie and
Daryl.
The Season 11B synopsis seems to confirm a lot of what we already know while promising some interesting scenarios. The Walking Dead returns with many of our heroes fighting imminent hellfire under Reaper attack, while others battle Mother Nature's torrential wrath in Alexandria. For all, their world is literally crashing down around them. Meanwhile, life in the Commonwealth is not as idealistic as it seems. Will they be able to pick up the pieces, and who will be alive to help? Will the relationships heal or fracture? Will olive branches be extended, accepted, or rejected? For some, hope will be renewed. Others will be pushed past the point of no return. One truth holds tight. Lives hang in the balance with each decision drastically changing their future, their chances of survival, and the state of each community. This all sounds very dramatic and dangerous, but it all sounds like business as usual for our favorite survivors. What do you think? Who will side with the Commonwealth Rebellion? Who will resist? Episode 9 is titled No Other Way, and the synopsis of this episode reads, Hellfire rains down on those at the Meridian as every fight with the Reapers proves to be a brutal battle. At home in Alexandria, the violent rainstorm rages on as walkers continue to pour in, threatening everyone's safety, including Judith and Gracie. Again, this only confirms what we know from the many trailers and sneak peeks, as well as where the Season 11A finale left off. Episode 10 is called New Haunts, and its synopsis states, Weeks have passed since the Alexandrians arrived at the Commonwealth. They adjust to their classifications, their assigned jobs, and the oddity of making new friends. This confirms a time jump and that our survivors will go to the Commonwealth. Our question is, will we have another big time jump before the end? We think there might be, but it's still way too early to tell. Those are the only episode descriptions we have right now, but we do know the titles of episode 11 through 14. Number 11 is titled Rogue Elements, and probably is when we will find out more about the Commonwealth Rebellion. Episode 12 is called All or Nothing, and could be when Daryl decides he can't stay in the Commonwealth and goes on the run. Episode 13's title is Warlords. We don't even know what to speculate about that. Who's a warlord? Negan? Judith? The last episode we have a title for is the 14th, which is called The Rotten. We think this episode might expose some really dirty misdeeds that the Commonwealth have committed, but it could be anything. What do you think? What is coming for the survivors in the Commonwealth? Will there be anything left for Rick to return to? Thanks so much for watching our videos, everybody. As always, we're on the lookout for any new promo trailers or insider info to help prove or disprove all the rumors out there about our favorite show that never stops trying to rebuild society, no matter how many communities fall, The Walking Dead. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Binge Rampage. Click the notifications bell for our channel so you can see our next video as soon as it comes out, and don't forget to subscribe.
And you'll scream and scream because you'll be so afraid. No one will come to help because no one will hear you.